Hey everybody, Keith Worrall with OFM on the Ice. This is going to be the first episode for 2016-17. We're on a small lake that does have a river coming into one end and has an access of a dam. So there's really no extreme safe ice. But I tell you what, having the nebulous on the back end of the snowmobile gives me, I guess more than anything, the peace of mind knowing that if I do go through, not saying that you should venture out on unsafe ice, but if I do go through with this, I'm going to survive. This is going to keep my snowmobile not afloat if it goes through, but it's going to hang on to it and it's going to keep it there in that area so it doesn't go down if you're in 20 feet and you have to have a dive crew come out and get it for you. What this is going to do is it's going to keep the snowmobile afloat and give me a safe area to jump into this raft when it expands and until saving my life. So I've also got my son out on the ice with me today and my dad, his grandfather, Steve, and just knowing that you got something like that, just a peace of mind, I guess, really made it a lot easier for me to decide to go to this lake where normally I would not have came here until later in the year. So I came out a little bit ago. I drilled one hole before I pulled everybody across on the snowmobile, and we've got a good 6 inches of solid ice, and then the slush that froze over the last 3 days is about 2 inches. So we got about 8 inches of nice hard ice, which is plenty of ice, but like I said, anytime you've got any type of flowing water, river flowages, small lakes, things like that got water going through them, you never know, you could be driving across on that hitting 2 inches. So I'm going to check this hole. Using the 5-inch Aqua-Vu micro, mainly just to find the weed edge. There's a small bay that we're kind of right on the outside edge of this right now. This drops off pretty fast into 25 to 30 feet. We're going to come up in here, we're trying to find the 13 to 12 foot edge where the weeds are just starting to pop up. They're not real thick yet, and believe it or not, I should have hit record. I just had a great big school of bluegills go through. Not big bluegills, but a big school of bluegills, and I might have got them right on the tail end as they were cruising through on the camera here. But we've got just a few chunks of weeds sticking up here, so this is right on the outside edge. Any farther out, it's going to be all sand, and we want to be up inside of them for the big pike today. So what we're going to do is we're going to set our first tip up here. We're going to move in, scout with the Aqua-Vu, see if we can't find a little bit thicker weeds to put the cameras on our tip-up sets, and we're going to do a little recording with the Aqua-Vus, recording the tip-up minnows, and also inside the shack. So now we just got to pop some holes and get these flags in. Well, it didn't take long. We got 4 flags in right now, and this one went up. And it should have been recorded on Aqua-Vu. Oh, it's a spinner. Grab a hold and take your gloves off so you can feel it. If it has to go, let him run. It's only 4 rolls. Okay?
Oh gosh.
Good one? Just a feisty one. It's a good pike.
Yeah. It looks big because it was...
It kind of came down around there and spun around in a circle and it just left that big white belly. It looked huge.
Yeah. I mean, it went right straight across the thing, so I was like, oh my god.
Nice work, bud.
Thanks.
Second tip up. We don't even have our shack set up yet. And it is spinning. Yeah. One on, one off. Wow. Might be a decent fish. Henry's in weeds. This is a little bit nicer fish. Weeds too.
Oh.
It's on camera. It's not bad. You're up next. Alright, go ahead and let him go, bud. Back to get bigger. Bye-bye. We just had come out here and we were watching the Aqua-Vu here with the tip-up set on. And we noticed there was a bunch of perch, so I figured, well, we'll come out and see how big they are. First one, just got it down, little guy, but let's get you back down and see if we can't catch another one.
Yep.
Hit him. This is fun. Bunch of little perch down there. Just watch that spring bobber. There you go. Bring him on up. That one's got a little bit more bend in the rod. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Nice one. It's almost a keeper, but we're going to let him go. I don't really want to clean fish tonight. He's using it as a sweet stick. One of the new ice fishing rods by Vexen Ice. It's got, you can see the nice bright tip, real visible. If you're not using a bobber, we're using a spring bobber, just makes it easier for the kids to see the bites. And definitely does a good job catching fish. So go ahead and throw him back before he gets too cold.